These niggas mad, I'ma give them a reason. They wanna take out the kings, but be feeling like treason. So egregious, loyalty and love is on the back burner. This kind of truth make a nigga wanna grab the burner. Yeah, now I'll be switching the tempo. I jump out the window on any nigga, plain and simple. Truth be told, I don't care what you into, I don't discriminate. Test your fate, you know what it is. Overcome the hate. If they ain't hating, you ain't doing it right. That's the reason that they've been hating on me my whole life, yeah.
Welcome everyone, how are you? Welcome to the living room.
Hey. Sometimes you just gotta accept the change.
Boy in the building, shout out to all of you in the building. Shout out to our administrator, our moderators, Lady
My
C.
growth pains turned to a paradigm shift. I had to take a break from rap. They wasn't hearing my gift. I Lord Zeus. I can't keep fearing these tricks. They call me good rebel, cause I don't follow these scripts. I confuse them like Silo Saab, take you on a trip. I could beat the myths. Passion came and went like a weather change. I guess that's ironic, cause I'm about to make it rain. I bring that substance. I help you function. I had to find God. My heart lost a lot of loving. I feel my soul numbing, but I know my time coming. Shock them like thunderbolts. Yeah, they know my flow stunning. Good fight, I'm in the forefront, cause I'm on it for something. My purpose got me a lot of hate. Pick your side, you gon' decide your fate. Then you gotta ride the wave. Growth like this, it ain't minute made. It's more than the money chase. We missing on the freedom that we need to embrace. This ain't typical. I'm back up on it like a ritual. You show them love while they thinking that they sick of you. But in the end, I'm just doing what a winner do. I done saw it all, yeah. I don't even need the proof. I could rap anywhere. I don't really need a booth. But I gotta thank God, cause I didn't need the coupe. Watch it start shoot. Get it through the pandemic. That's faith. That's a lot of grind. That's bare effort. We here, Creative Collection, Squeaky Gems, Goldfinger collaboration. This is the team right here, and we're back again with What Could Make It Better, What Could Make the World Better, Part 3, where we're going to discuss some things. We got some nice topics I think that y'all going to be interested in, and letting the world hear y'all feelings and thoughts on these things.
All right, let's go.
So how we going to do this, Squeaky? We good now?
Oh yeah, we good. We're gonna jump right into it. I do want to say my disclaimer, because this is still an app and a platform, but we have our USC codes 1-308. This is for educational upliftment. You cannot ban us. All right, thank you. Now.
All right, cool. So I'm asking all of you here at once, and whoever feels the need to speak up can speak up first. The first question is, what made you decide to go against the beast?
Could you repeat that?
Yeah, the first question is, what made you decide to go against the beast? I think we should know what the beast is. We referencing the system as the beast. So what made you decide to go against that?
Hi, guys. So the reason why I went against the beast system is because I seen that there's a lot of things that are not right, that are inhumane, that are not normal. And you could tell that instead of people speaking out about it, they decide to stay silent and just follow the flock. Me, on the other hand, I am not that type of person. When I see something is wrong, I'm going to call it out. And we know that what we're fighting against is a lot of evil. And we know that we're on the right side of history because, like they all say, they're just following orders. And their orders is not good. It's not correct. It's not normal. And fighting against this system obviously is not easy, but like I say, we're on the battlefield every day. Whether we're together, whether we're, apart, like doing, we all have our own lives or somewhat, but every day living in New York City is a fight. So you gotta be prepared because every day is literally getting worse here. I don't know, my mind is bobbled at this point because I'm like, if you didn't wake up by now, then you could just say that you're part of this system and you're compliant with it. You're okay with it.
Right. Well, I do feel like people just honestly, sometimes I just feel like people are just robots. Whatever they're programmed and whatever they were taught, they just run with that, and it's just nothing. It's nothing that you could say that could go against it. You could see death after death, mistake after mistake. You could see issue after issue, and none of that will shake certain people's mindset to change nothing. It'll just make them say, "Yo, this is the boss. This is what gotta happen. There's nothing else to it," and that's kind of crazy to me. But I'm glad to see that people like you step up and have a mind of your own to where you can say, let me actually organize something to literally go against the beast. I'm calling it the beast because it has to be known. So, DVS, would you like to answer that question? And New York Freedom Fighters, would y'all like to answer that?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, let's get into it.
Yeah, for me, I've always kind of been, always had an eye out, for this kind of thing. It wasn't really easy to point out, individuals, directly as much as we can now. We can like point people out. We can actually call out names and, like Bill Gates or, all these other names. We can actually point a finger now to who's part of this, this plan. Before, obviously, we could also, but it was they had a good. They were able to keep things in the conspiracy box really well. Before more recent times, I started finally starting to, really start pointing fingers when Obama ran for the first time. I immediately, he just rubbed me wrong. And so my attention to starting to really, catch on to certain particular, individuals kind of stirred me up to really start getting more involved. And so obviously more so when in the few previous elections like Trump and all of that, I think we've all got to see a whole lot more of all kinds of good stuff going on in the background. But for me, I'm all about truth, and the thing that I've always had the most attention to is either religion or what's happening in the world around me, because it matters. That's really the only reason why we're here. Any tree that does not bear fruit, we're all trees here to bear fruit, and the tree that doesn't bear fruit is really pointless if you're not here to bear fruit and for the sake of later, because right now this life is only but a breath. This life is really just, we're here to build our life in heaven, and God gave us eyes to kind of really start looking and seeing what's going on around in the world around us, to kind of warn people that this world has kind of gone the wrong way since the beginning. We're also given the opportunity to choose God willfully, to actually not just love him by robotically, but to actually choose to love him and to see past all of the wrong things and hate and evil in the world, and look and search for God, and search for his hand and everything. That's really my number one drive. And then through that, I realized that a lot of people like to detach Christianity, for example, from religion. From politics. Like the two don't go hand in hand. Meanwhile, they are the perfect harmony. They go perfectly hand in hand. You can't have religion without politics. You can't be a Christian without being political. You can't be a Christian without loving your neighbor so much that you're going to fight for their rights. You know what I mean? So
yeah, it's heavy, man. I think you're saying, I think he's coming out the gate kind of crazy. He coming out swinging, because I think like just listening to you, I could tell that you are a divisive individual that sits there and strategizes like how to destroy the beast. Like I could tell you be in your room like, you know what, I'm about to do this today. I'm about to do that today. I'm about to do this tomorrow. This is going to specifically destroy some maybe, let's say Bill Gates. This is specifically going to damage something that Bill Gates is doing specifically. Like I could tell you thinking with it very much intention. So shout out to you, just based off of your dialogue off the rip.
Thanks, brother. Thanks.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, that was very well put.
Yeah, and I like the things you said too as well about God, is seeing that you know that God is involved, and you seeing more and more day to day. You're waking up and you seeing more and more of the decision to do right or do wrong, more and more, and realizing that it's a sacrifice that's coming along with making that right move as well. So yeah, that's great, because you giving other people that energy while you're doing that, and that's great. Yeah, New York Freedom Fighters in here. I know y'all got something to say about this too. So is there anything you want to say about this question here?
We're still talking about what made us go against the beast.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's hard to follow. You know, DVS has a great perspective on this, and you know, I think fearing God is definitely one major step. You know, I mean that's kind of a personal thing for everyone. It's not exclusive to Christians. I think whether you're Jewish, Muslim, Buddhist, anything, even atheist, I do think it's important to recognize the evil that we're facing, and that's kind of the first thing that comes out of my mind is recognizing that there is a beast. You know, whether you've read Revelation 13 or not, you have to recognize the type of evil that we're looking at in this world and the responsibility that comes with that. I think all of us here, you know, all of us that have met each other along this journey, you know, Dana is a great example of someone. You know, we went out marching the Brooklyn Bridge with Jimmy Levy. It would have been, I think it would have been the 14th of September, or I'm sorry, end of September, after we had thousands of people in Foley Square and marching through Manhattan. We got up in the morning and we marched the Brooklyn Bridge to the DOE, and there's Dana like meeting us. It was only a dozen or a couple dozen of us outside the DOE.
Yeah.
And here comes Dana swinging on the megaphone, just dropping bombs. And it's like, okay, yeah, she's one of us. Yeah, she's one of us. And here we are, like almost a year later. But yeah, and she's also a great example of someone who sees things through a biblical lens. You know, again, whatever your personal background is, like whether it's religious, whatever, however you identify yourself in your relationship with a higher power, it's a matter of understanding that, you know, we can't just be you know, I spent personally many years just like fighting the battle on like just like what's the word, not social justice, but like digital soldiering, what, you know, Facebook, whatever outlet I could find to reach people in my circle. And I just got tired eventually of like, you know, I got to get out on the street. I got to meet like-minded people in the flesh, and I got to, you know, find my tribe. And, you know, around 2020, there were a lot of other people experiencing the same calling, I think. And that's kind of what happened this past couple of years, is that we found our tribe, we found our family. And this is what unites us, is the understanding of, you know, good and evil. And there is, you know, there is a God on high, and there is a dark force down below, you know, however you want to articulate it. So that's what really called me was, you know, I gotta find soldiers to fight alongside with, you know, that I can't just be sitting behind a computer when they're coming after our children. You know, we got to get outside. We got to put our minds and put our hearts together to fight this evil.
Yeah, that's real.
Best way to put it.
That's what it takes. Sometimes it takes you to make that extra step. And I know that because the way that we found out about y'all was all the way in Queens. We found a piece of paper. It was written on. I don't know exactly what it said, but we found a piece of paper and we said, oh, it's people out here that's going against, you know what I'm saying, what's going on. I'm like, we thinking the same way. So that's how we ended up, you know, getting introduced to y'all, getting on y'all Instagram. The times that we went, y'all wasn't there. It was some of your people were there, but y'all wasn't there. But we followed y'all on Instagram through the guerrilla marketing y'all did in Queens.
Freedom International, right?
Yeah. So y'all put in a lot of work to get that done.
Thanks.
And then once Dzyn, he told me about it, I instantly went there to Foley Square with my kids, with my babies. I heard Dana, I saw Rachel, I saw Joy. Joy walked up to me and spoke to me because I think I was like the only one besides Rachel with a baby out there. It was me, my baby, and my daughter, and we walked the bridge with you guys. Freedom fighters, they were helping me carry my bags over the bridge. Like, it was just so much unity, and I felt like I'm finally around like-minded people, and I didn't feel alone anymore. And we took over that day. We made history. So I really want to thank y'all for standing up and saying things, going against the grain, because y'all really woke a lot of people up. You know, everybody was looking to New York for, I don't know why, recognition or approval to go against the beast. But if New York didn't do it, it was like a do or die situation for everyone else nationwide. So, you know, New York against mandates, We the Parents, Gina. It was so many people that I just was able to network with. And so that was really cool. So look how far you guys came from then. It's amazing. Helping change laws and knocking on people's door, kicking down the door and like, no, y'all gonna listen to us. Like, you know?
Yeah, it's good. It's great. It's great. When I saw the video with you in it, Squeaky, when I saw the video with you in it, I got inspired by that because I was like, yo, it's crazy how you just saw a flyer and now you with them, and it was just crazy. I was just like, yeah, this is the energy that we need to be able to stand up, you know what I'm saying?
Mr. Drummond, he actually put me on to Joy because I didn't recognize when Joy spoke to me, she smiled. I didn't realize that she was a part of you all. And then Mr. Drummond was like, wait, you live in Queens? She lives in Queens too, so why don't you link with Joy? And then I told her, you know, I have a family juice bar out here, and I took all of the signs that you guys gave me and I put it all up and down my block into the stores. We do not discriminate. And so I asked, you know, you guys should not discriminate for your customers, that we've been supporting you guys and patronizing all COVID long. And then if you guys want to do this to us, like, we'll stop patronizing you, basically. They let me put the signs up in their windows, and they was just so motivated by you guys because it was like minimum media coverage on you all. They're not really telling mainstream anything about you guys. Like, you all were fighting for that as well. So they're just trying to drown us out with the truth. They're labeling it as misinformation and, you know, just trying to make wrong right and right wrong and disregard the Bible and the biblical instructions that were left here for us before we leave Earth. And it's just, that's what it's supposed to be. It's written, you know what I'm saying? That's exactly how it's supposed to go. And it's just like finally coming to the surface. And I just really feel bad for our children that they're doing this to the children. Us as parents, those of us who have children, we should be the most angriest. So I'm shocked to see that so many parents are not really speaking up. But those who are, you know, they're put into tough situations where they may feel like, well, I have to do this because it's, you know, my job. I have to do this because I need to go to school. But you really don't. But I do understand people are misinformed and they may feel like their back is against the wall. We weren't taught the things that we're supposed to, that we're learning now, basically. Things that we're learning now, I think this needed to happen so that we could learn what our natural laws really are. We didn't learn any of this in school.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. You know, I think God does that sometimes, kind of like puts us through the fire so that we can kind of start waking up a little bit, you know, snap out of like how real things can get. I personally, like, when it comes to, you know, everything that's going on around the whole world, I like to believe, as much as we're seeing it here in the US, that we might actually be the one last place standing that actually fights against all of this in the end. Not because, you know, I'm a big fan of the US or whatever the case is, which I am, but because I think that there's no other country in the world. We're the most Christian nation on the planet. We're the freest and most successful country in the planet in history to be as free as we are. No other, if all of this stuff is happening because of, diabolical plans from the devil himself or all of that stuff, who else, what other country on the planet is actually gonna fight? Obviously, people are getting out on the streets, like you see in Netherlands. All the truckers are coming out, the farmers.
Yeah.
But you know, the Bible does say, like, in the last days, there'll be 10 kings that are gonna join in the one world order. 10 kings will agree with the order and will join. And what other country is it more than us to be the ones that are gonna disagree with it? I mean, no other country can fight as hard as we do. If we fail, everyone else fails. But God still put that pressure on us. Like, whatever the future holds, whatever is biblical, whatever is prophetic, whatever God already foresaw. It's not. A lot of people think, oh, it's just destiny and it's just whatever's coming is coming. It's actually destiny because God knew what was going to happen prior to it happening, just because He can tell the future. But it's us that made the future. Obviously, He intervenes and does particular things for certain cases to, wiggle things around to His will. But it's us that's making it. We're making the future. He just knows what we're going to make of it, and we're going to be called out for every step we didn't take and every step we did take. We're going to be called out for that. So a lot. That's why, like I was saying before, a lot of Christians think, keep politics out of religion, and it's like, absolutely not even a little bit. That's like the most foolish comment I've ever heard in my entire life. Moses went straight to the Pharaoh, let my people go. You know what I mean? And so it's our actual purpose here to get involved in things so great as to what actually changes our circumstances, or as a country, or as a world, or as a people, or as a community. But it's actually making a difference. I also sometimes dislike the idea of churches going out to feed the homeless for a day, and go out and do these big missions on feeding the homeless. Except, what if we could fix the legislation that actually creates homelessness, rather than continuing to feed homeless people? If you care enough, you want to get involved in the politics of it to stop what's happening, what's creating the homelessness, the policies that are creating the homelessness. And that's why when we get out on the streets, it's what really matters. It's not all the talk. It's actually making changes. So doing things so in the physical, to the point of seeing policies change for things that we continue to try to, be the good guy and do good deeds for and feed the homeless. All right, that's great. But there's a whole greater step to do. And that is to actually stop the homelessness. Obviously, it's never gonna end to completion, but it's those are the things we're supposed to focus on. So we go to these businesses, like, for example, one of the things I always love to see is we got to put the pressure on them. When they try to put these mandates on us, and so that we have to take give them passes and show them our vaccination status and all this garbage. Absolutely not. We're gonna sit down. We're gonna put the pressure on them. They're gonna, their quota's gonna drop. They're gonna lose money. They're gonna, I'm not the type that likes to, get in people's way and be a bother or be dramatic. But there is a particular level of pressure that people need to feel, and so we need to put that pressure outside on the streets. And that's what the New York Freedom Rally has accomplished better than any group I've seen. That
I agree.
We've done it physically. We're not just at nice fancy rallies and everybody's just talking loud. We're actually immediately after talking loud go physically and march and walk directly to the places we need to make changes at and actually do it. So that's probably one of my most thrilling times and meaningful times of my life was getting to know the individuals involved in the New York Freedom Rally.
Yeah, man. I could deal with that, you know what I'm saying? Because it's at the end of the day, if you know too much of anything is no good. Being a yes man is no good, you know what I'm saying? If you clearly see it's evil going on, and then you just yes manning it to the death, it's just like, bro, come on now. You about to risk yourself for this now. Right. So another thing I caught that you said about religion and stuff like that, people try to separate religion from politics. And I'm gonna have to agree on that, because if this is why people feel like they can't use religious exemptions, because we try to separate a controller of the physical earth and the controller that gave us our spiritual rights. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that leaves a lack of respect for it. That's why a lot of people get void religious exemptions and stuff like that, and got to keep fighting just for that.
I want to piggyback on that too.
Okay.
But yeah, we're definitely going to get into DVS. Yeah, so when you were saying, okay, so no one's speaking up, right? I have a writer friend, just put out a movie, the movie Zombies 3. They put everything into movies, okay? They are explaining everything to these children. No one spoke on a certain particular race of people's planet, right? By them not speaking up of the tyranny that was happening to their planet, it got destroyed. So this is what's happening to us now. The more we don't speak up and the more we don't push back, this whole planet is going to be destroyed, starting with our nation first. Okay? So that is a good point that DVS said. All right? Because nobody wants to feel uncomfortable. Nobody wants to create disharmony. Nobody wants to make revelations come to life. It's gonna happen regardless. The whole purpose of us being here is to use our gifts, work in harmony as a people, and listen to God. That's why we're here in the first place, because we did not want to listen to God. We got distracted, and then we got cursed. You understand?
Right.
So now people are getting too comfortable in these sinful ways in their flesh. They're getting paid off, and they're staying silent, which ultimately leads to our destruction. So eventually, like people like you and me, and the rally and everybody that agrees, we will ultimately help everyone find their way back home. Like it starts with us. The kingdom is already here at hand, and all you have to do is reach out with your faith and touch and agree with one another. And despite our differences, harmony isn't silent. Unity isn't similarities. Love is the most powerful thing that it'll over encompass all, because it's so powerful. Love, it doesn't judge. You understand?
And love covers many sins as well. So that's why love is so important. You know, us being human, obviously it's hard to love one another sometimes, but we have to forgive in order to be forgiven. People are conditioned. And, you know, you see people going down these routes, and they just think because somebody's going down that route, well, you know what? I guess that's the route I'm going down too. Like, you know, the music industry. Like, you know, the music is trash. And when you hear this young generation listen to this music, it's conditioning them to, you know, feel like this is some fantasy life that they're going to live and not be intertwined with the real stuff that's going on. It's all a distraction. And this is why we have to take ourselves out of the equation, because that's what they want. They want us distracted. They want us a part of the system.
Yeah.
They want to agree because they agreed. So basically, if we say 2 + 2 is 4, no, they think that it's 5. So it's you know, every day is literally, we gotta like pray to get through it, because every day is a challenge for all of us, and we're all gonna be tested. I know I've been tested. I ain't gonna lie, I didn't pick the right words, you know, for some, you know, situations, but we live and we learn. But the point of the matter is that where we are right now, I say it all the time, we cannot be silent. Like, a lot of people do not want to be uncomfortable, and that's an issue. I'm okay with being uncomfortable now. I don't care who likes me, who disagrees with me. In your when you have a spirit, God is gonna knock on your shoulder and tell you when something's wrong and when something is right. These things are not right, and for you could tell a lot of people know it deep down inside. And when you talk to some of these people, they're so afraid to speak out because they don't want the backlash. They don't want the reaction of people like, oh my God, how could they think this way? Listen, it doesn't matter. People need to wake up. It's either now or never. Like, they were just talking about food shortages coming. People think that you're some crazy conspiracy theorist. Okay, so if you don't believe us, that's cool. Look it up yourself. Do your own research. That's the only way you're gonna find out. Nobody's saying for you to believe what we already know. I didn't believe everything that I heard from, I looked it up myself. But now it's to the point where people they know the truth, it's right in front of them, and they still don't believe it. God said he will give people debased minds. They're debased. Something's not right. And these are the people that we seriously have to pray for no matter what, because they need a lot more help than we do. We all need help, but they need a lot more help just for the fact that they're lost in the source. Some of them know, they don't want to know. It's honestly heartbreaking.
Just to piggyback off what she was saying, it's like really hard. It's difficult to live when the minds you're surrounded by are corrupted. What made me go against the beast was like really like mainly like my upbringing. Really, like it's a lack of independent thinkers. A lot of people are cowards. A lot of people are sheep. A lot of people are scared of the backlash, like she was saying. And that just monkey see, monkey do mentality is gonna have us losing rights, kind of like what's happening right now if people don't start fighting and people don't start speaking up. And it's just like a serious lack of awareness, a serious lack of accountability. Everybody wants to just brush everything off. Like, you have certain like families that would like protect the predator in the family that they know for a fact touch kids because they don't want to hurt somebody's feelings. And it's just like you have to get uncomfortable sometimes in order to grow. Like it's no way around it. Like sometimes it has to be pain in order for us to get to a place of peace. And a lot of people don't want to go through that. A lot of people just want to live in la la land, and that's just simply not reality. Everything's wrong, to the music, to the food, to just the way we're living in general. And most people don't see nothing wrong with this. And that's a serious problem. And if we don't get this in order, we're going to meet our demise. And that's just simply what it is.
So I want to shout out Joy just came into the room.
Hey, Joy.
Our freedom fighters.
Hey, what's going on?
Juju.
Queen of the South.
Yes, sir.
Okay. These are your freedom fighters who are fighting for your rights. I love you guys. Thank you so much for taking your time.
Well, thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Thank you for inviting us on.
Yes, this is amazing.
Yeah, this is great. This is a great conversation. I'm hearing some great motivation right now.
Yep. So I'm going to play DVS, and then we could get into the next topic.
Okay.
Still learning this. We're still learning this system. So we have administrator Tyree, the developer, our Lady B, our moderator Lady B. So they are assisting us with this program here. The youth are teaching us so much. So I think it's just only right that we let them know everything that's happening in real time, because like I said before, the mainstream media is not going to project this, what you all are doing, what we all are doing in the big light. So we have to reach them through every platform that they're on so that they understand what's really happening.
All right, so we about to get into a break. This is Creative Collection here with Squeaky Gems. We here talking about what could make the world better, or what could make it better, part 3. We having a good discussion, a therapeutic discussion, a discussion full of solutions, full of movement, and just appreciating our people that are putting on for the city right now in New York. All right, we're gonna get right.
Yo, Pelican, my love how your DVS are represented for the natural body girl them around here. No vaccine, no zombies around here. Be a good up body girl around us now.
Come no shorty, make we party. If it vax to me no want it. Me no want no ratty zombie. Want a girl with natural as can be. Come no shorty, whine your body. If it vax to me no want it. Me no want no ratty zombie. Want a girl with natural.
DVS, me now want to keep it vax. Type of girl them cut off Samson dreadlocks. You got the super spreader box, so ain't much time on the clock. I'm better off just getting one who's been around the block. Even if that means she got some holes up in her socks, survivor rate is probably higher with a chick that smokes rocks. I asked her where's her other shoes, she said the one she got she found. She ain't vaxxed up, I'm down. Pure blood and free, man, I'm giving her the crown.
Come no shorty, make we party. If it vax to me no want it. Me no want no ratty zombie. Want a girl with natural as can be.
Me no want it, no lo quiero. Pure blood and free, llámalo bombero. Mi hermana quemando más cara lo que prefiero. I just don't want it if it's fast, girl. Tírale
Pelican from the school of the hard knocks, yeah. Now them a call man anti-vaxxer. When me pay tax for, hold a box, yeah. You know see me a the girl them doctor. Get inna the streets, now a me them a ask for. What if he vax ya, me know that fracture. So like patcha, me girl them a fi hot, sir. Watch ya, you know say we no actor.
R.I.P. Bubby.